Hey, it's Frank, registered dietitian, and I'm here today to talk about the first time I came out. Before I do so, my goal is to reach 100 subscribers ASAP and by March to reach 1,000 subscribers. Please help me reach my goal by subscribing today. So I know that sounds weird when you say the first time I came out. Well, the first time I came out, I ended up immediately going back into the closet. The reason it went this way is because, let me give you some background to kind of understand how we got there. So basically, my mom was a single mom and she was doing the best she could. She raised us as the best she could. And I was a mama's boy, still am. But growing up, I was attached to my mom's hip. I was everywhere she was. Wherever she went, I wanted to go. And then, to a certain point where you reach kind of middle school or teenage years where you start to learn or develop your own kind of identity and you do a little bit of separation. However, we remain close. And then at that point, I was 21 years old. I was in college at the University of Texas, and I was doing a DL relationship in a way where we would do whatever we wanted to do at night, and then I would have my day life as far as whatever that was. So I think at that moment I wanted to come out because I thought I was in love because the sex was just that good. But at the same time, I was not truly in love. But so I decided that I would come out and I spoke to my mom and I told my mom that I thought I was gay or bi or something. I can't remember exactly how the conversation went. But she did mention, is this a phase? And of course, as an overthinker, as when she mentioned that, I thought about it. Lots of things was in my head. I remembered like, okay, so I went through my whole life and feeling like an outsider and feeling like I wasn't like in connection with people and stuff like that. And at that point in my life, I had a friend group. We were really close. Just a bunch of guys that we just kind of connected, related to being in the same university and the same college and things like that. So we connected. We hung out lots of times, on a weekly, several times in a week and everything like that. And then, so I had a good friend connection. I had my college stuff going well and, under scholarship and all that. And then I had close ties with my family and still do. But, in my mind, I thought that I would maybe have to lose some of that. And then another thing that crossed my mind also is at the time there was a comment or a comment saying no homo. And I knew the friends that I had, they weren't, they weren't people that would unfriend you just because you were gay or something, but they did speak those comments as well. So there was all this kind of in my head, and I chose at that time that I wasn't ready to come out. I decided that, hey, I think I need to wait. So even though I was able to come out to my mom and express, my feelings to her about what I felt my sexual identity was at the time, I I didn't fully come out. So I came out and then went right back into the closet because of the cultural, social pressures that I felt. And then I was unsure about the change. I just didn't, because I have trouble with change a lot of the times. And I try to adapt, and stuff. But at that time, I just wasn't ready for much change. And so I decided, hey, let's just keep things separate. Let's keep everything good how it was. I had a good friend group. I had, close connections and ties with family and stuff like that. And then I was able to do my nightlife DL scene as I wanted to. And so I continued in that way, even though, again, I told you all in the past that I do not think it's good. I think it's unsafe. I think it's unhealthy. At least at that time, it was just connected to that one person. However, it wasn't love. It was just a thought of, hey, this is how I feel because, again, the sex was just that good. But at the same time, Wow, that's a mouthful, isn't it? But so yeah, that's just kind of what I wanted to bring up. So I know it was weird and that, coming out more than once is an experience of many gay people anyway because of the social context and the things. In summary, I was in the closet. I came out briefly with one person, expressing to them how I felt. I questioned myself. I thought that maybe I wasn't ready for the change that was going to take place if I did come out, because I was afraid that I might lose people in, relationships and things. And so, with that said, I came out and immediately went back into the closet. It's just really interesting because I would go several more years before I even was able to come out. And again, I didn't even come out when several years later I was outed. And that story will be told in another episode.